everybody, to Roses and Rosé Live. I'm Lauren Zima. We are here to talk about the unbelievably good second episode of Season 15 of The Bachelorette, starring our own Hannah Beast, Hannah Brown. And I am here today joined by one of my favorite Roses and Rosé.
Did you say Roses and Rogaine? Are you saying something?
Because your hair's so good. Because your hair's so good.
Roses and Rogaine.
Wells Adams is here. This is like when I called you and said, hey, can you make a video for Roses and Rosé's anniversary? And you tried to say huge news.
Yeah.
And I accidentally said huge nudes.
Huge nudes. And I kept saying it like I couldn't fix it.
You know what? I think if I'm going to mess up on my words, I'm glad I'm here with you because you're a pro. You can back me up. You can handle it. You're the best.
We're both on TV and can't speak.
We're great at our jobs.
Wow.
And by the way, let's just go ahead and say, if you don't listen to Wells' podcasts and radio shows, go do all that right now. He's the best. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
Let's talk about Hannah's season, just overall, and we're going to get into all the moments, guys, including Luke P. for all the things. But overall, I'm loving this season. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that I wasn't super pumped to see Hannah be the Bachelorette, and I don't really know why. I think I thought that Kaylin would have been a good Bachelorette because I thought she had like this amazing story that would have kind of been empowering for a lot of women. But now watching Hannah be these last two episodes, I'm like weirdly like into it, and
I just think
she's very self-deprecating, which I like because she realizes the ridiculousness of the situation, but she's also weirdly owning the role that she's in, you know?
I feel like look, we all saw her on the live AFR. She stumbled over her words a little bit, just like we're doing.
Yeah.
But she has really gotten concise, I think, or at least they're editing her really well. She's saying how she feels about the guys. I like little asides she makes, like when she told Tyler before their one-on-one that the second he left, they were all going to talk, you know what, about him. Like, I'm liking it. It's good TV to me so far. That's what I think is going well.
She's just coming across as very real and relatable, and I think that that's the scary thing about being the Bachelor or the Bachelorette is that you can very easily come across as like very robotic, you know, like hit this mark, say this thing, and she seems to be just like very natural and
she's doing it.
She's doing a good job. So
speaking
really
of natural, let's show the B-roll of our guys, our dudes in their Speedos. This is the first group date. We had look at John Paul Jones flipping that hair, snapping that Speedo. We had a pageant for Mr. Right, featuring some amazing guest judges, Miss J, Alaska, and Alyssa. Tell me how you would have felt strutting your stuff in this Speedo, Wells. Like, were these guys intimidated? I mean, they're all in pretty good shape.
Well, first of all, thank God this never happened for me because I've never had abs or pecs or anything.
And they had a lot of them.
Yeah, and they look great. I guess my question would be like, are we tucking or are we untucking? Like what's really happening here?
There's a lot of specifics with a Speedo.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but like, you know, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
Well, overall, I love the group date. I felt like the guys showed a lot of personality, but this was the moment everyone was talking about. Let's listen to Luke P. tell Hannah he's starting to fall in love with her.
Hannah, I know that the Mr. Right for you is a man that's gonna love you fiercely. And I've already given you a piece of my heart. But I hope in the future, I can give you all of it. And Hannah, I can't believe I'm saying this right now. This is pretty crazy because it's so soon. But I can't hide it. Hannah, I'm genuinely starting to fall in love with you.
The pauses as he said that. Everybody's eyes, I mean, it felt as though we were all feeling the tension in the room there just as they did. Like, I was covering half my face. I'm like, why?
So you're telling me that your talent is being kind of creepy right off the bat?
Would you call it creepy?
I think so, only because I really know I remember the timeline. Like, you have night one, which you really only have a couple minutes to talk with her. You know, you get out of the limo, and then maybe you have another opportunity to talk to her, and that's it. And then you go to bed, and then the next day you have that first group date. Like I did that as well, except I almost died in a fireman's date. This guy's professing his love.
I met you that day.
Yeah, you did. And so you have like, let's say 20 minutes with her the first night, and then you'd have this date, which is maybe 25 minutes. So that seems kind of crazy to say that after, let's say, 30 minutes of knowing somebody. And then the way he's justifying it is he was like, well, I watched the last season and I knew I was like falling for you back then. But that's a little like stalker crazy to be like, I've been watching you and I know that this is a thing.
Well, I liked that Hannah questioned him a little bit. We saw her have a conversation with him at the cocktail party. She said, how do you really justify this? But then she ended up saying that she believed him. She said, I believe him. And I guess to me it becomes this question of like, is he lying or does he just believe himself? And it's a little... I don't know if unstable is the right word, but it feels immature at the very least to think that you'd have those feelings that quickly.
Yeah, I'm glad that she questioned him. I wish she had kind of questioned him a little bit harder about it.
She ended up he won the pageant for it.
But she's into it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so she's blinded by the pecs and the abs. Also, my girl got a type. Like, I love when Chris was like, do you have a type? And she's like, no, I want to taste all the flavors or whatever. Which, okay. And then, but I was like, wait, hold on. This guy looks exactly like Colton.
Let's bring up a side-by-side because a lot of people have been saying this, like the scruff, the jawline, the buffness. If you look at the two of them, I see it. Same features for sure.
Well, let's start the hair. It's even parted the same way, okay?
Same color, scruff.
Yeah, scruff.
Scruff and buff.
I mean, obviously, like, great smiles. Chiseled like a Greek god, spends way too long in the gym, obviously, but knows that they look great with the shirt off, so they're both like, let's do some shower scenes, guys.
They both did those shower scenes, which,
Right?
the producers are the ones having them do it. But I really appreciate you getting into the timeline thing because I actually did a Twitter poll about this last night, and I want to bring it up. I asked people two things, and we can show both of them. First of all, how quickly do you say that you're in love with someone? And like, yes, he said, oh, does this not show the results? We needed to vote. A graphics department, we needed to, show the results on this. The most people said 3 to 6 months is the I love you. And now, yes, he said, I'm starting to fall in love with you. But I did another poll. Have you ever actually said that you're starting to fall in love with someone? The options I gave, if we want to bring that one up, were thus, and like 80 to 90% of people said, no, that's a Bachelor thing.
Yeah.
I've never said that in real life.
Yeah, I retweeted this, and then I wrote, well, I've been pre-approved for a Discover card, and I think that's the same thing. It's saying that, like, eventually I'm going to get there, but right now I just want you to know that I'm on the road, I guess?
Right.
But everyone's on the road to that. Like, that's the thing, is that they're hoping to eventually fall in love with her.
I think it's totally a construct of the show, and I don't know, why not just, I guess because saying love is more powerful, but it's the same as telling someone like, look, I really like you.
Yeah.
I'm starting to fall in love with you, to me is I really like you. And at the end of the day, him saying that was nuts. It just was, because I'm glad you pointed out the timeline thing of it again, and I feel like the other guys felt it. Let's listen to Mike confronting Luke, and I want to thank Mike for being the voice of the people here.
By the way, favorite guy.
Favorite guy?
Yeah,
okay.
And Sarah's as well.
Let's watch him.
The way I feel right now, man, is that you're a dog. Yeah.
He called him a dog. He said it was blasphemous what he did. Too harsh or just right?
I don't know. Wasn't Mike the guy that like went to its like great grandma's house beforehand? So like this guy can say no wrong. I don't know if he's. I think they're all just like, dude, what? Like that's first of all not the date. The date was, waka waka waka, dance around, unicycle or whatever.
Yeah.
Doing that was just like, okay, well of course you're gonna win because you're pulling some trump card that like you shouldn't pull until like episode 7.
Well, it was interesting.
Right?
You're like, here's the timeline. Here's how the game works.
Yeah.
You do that in episode 7.
Well, and also all the guys are like, she should be freaked out, and she's not. So if I was one of those guys, I'd be like, wait, what?
a little concerned about.
I'm concerned about like the way that she's thinking about this, you know?
Yeah. Well, and she didn't end up giving Luke the rose. He won the pageant, but like on those group dates, it's always like, does the winner really mean anything? No, it's about getting the rose. Jed got the rose that night.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to me because I was like, maybe this is her kind of saying, yo, dude, pump the brakes a little bit. Like, I'm not going to reward you for your quote unquote talent being that you're starting to fall in love with me. And by the way, that kind of bugged me because I felt like, Luke, so what? Who are you? What's your deal? Like, show something about yourself.
Yeah.
All we know about you is that you're into Hannah. He also raised a red flag for me on the very first episode. He said that she was, quote, the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. And I'm like, maybe I'm cynical and I'm not really like a love at first sight person, but if a dude told me that, I'd be like, my dude, have you seen like a picture of the Hadid sisters? And I'm cool with it. I don't need to be the most beautiful woman you've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I don't know, like, have you ever gone down that route with someone just being like I'm blown away by just seeing you, just meeting you. Like, that physical connection, it seems to be what he's speaking to, but it's like, do we believe it?
Yeah, and it's just a little shallow, I think. Like, saying that, like, you're starting to fall in love with someone and really only saying that you're falling in love with, like, their looks. Because you really don't know them, you know? Like, you watched a season of her, but, like, that's a TV show, and there's only so much you can really get out of that. And you've really spent about 15 minutes. So it's, like, it's kind of a shallow thing to say of, I'm falling in love with how hot you are,
right?
But I have absolutely no idea if I'm falling in love with, like, you as a person, you know?
Well, here's what else we know about Luke so far. And we're going to get to some other moments on this episode, but we see him in the trailer screaming at the other guys.
Yeah.
We see Mike later calling him a pathological liar and a psychopath.
Yeah.
He got the first impression rose, though, and in Bachelorette history, the last 4 seasons, first impression rose is with them in the end.
I remember.
Like, you're like, it wasn't me.
Thank God. It worked out for me.
It's worked out real well.
But yeah, I feel like she is just mesmerized by him.
Yeah. And she said last night, I'm the type where I zone in on a guy.
Yeah.
And part of me wants to say he's my guy already.
I know. Like, if I was her producer or whatever, I would almost be like, pump the brakes a little bit, because you don't want all the guys to get disheartened by the whole situation. Like, for my season, we all kind of knew that Jordan was, like, far and above who she liked.
How do you get that sense? Like, what made you know that?
Well, have you seen him? I mean, he's
well,
very
I mean,
good looking.
but was it the time that she was giving to him? Was she making sure to seek him out, talk to him? Like, what were the clues? Because it's a weird construct. It's not a normal social setting.
Well, yeah, it's funny because, like, in that episode, Luke and her go make out.
Yeah,
and,
let's
like,
show that shirtless B-roll. But yeah.
And I never even saw it, but we knew that, like, don't see. I mean, this is hot, by the way, and also, like, I don't remember her kissing Colton like this.
We saw on this episode a whole new side of Hannah for her sexuality, and I support it, and I'm here for it. She called him a dessert. She said she wanted to skip the main course. She took the shirt off.
I know, and this dress is great, by the way.
She looks great.
She looks
then
really good.
our boy Jed was the one who walked in on it, which, like, I guess speaking of indicators, and I have to say, I mean, you tell me, but I'm like, the producer, and I'd love them for if they did it, but the producers are probably like, yo, Jed, like, go walk over there or something. Like, how did Jed, clearly a front runner, wind up being the one to see this go down?
Yeah, and he's also got the rose from that date, so, like, this is obviously, like, a good meeting, but like I was saying, like, if I was Jed, I would have gone back to the guys and been like, they were, like, rounding second a second ago. Think we're in trouble, guys. Like, this is an
indicator.
I will say, like, I love the way that Jed handled it, though, when she came out. He was so cool and, like, made her feel really good about it. She doesn't owe anyone anything. There's a part of me that wishes that she'd have been like, out of respect for you guys, I should have, like, held back, and I'm sorry. But I thought that he handled that really well, and even though Luke got the makeout sesh and the shirt off, and Jed had gotten the rose, you weren't sure who really won the date, and I thought that the way that he handled that meant that he, like, really hit a home run and won that date.
He said something along the lines of, it's so wise that I can't even quote it properly, but something like, being jealous or worrying has never gotten me anywhere.
Yeah.
It was a really mature response.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Jed.
I do too, and I thought I wouldn't because I lived in Nashville, and I'm
He's
like
that country singer-songwriter.
yeah, like
there's one every season.
There's every singer. There's a country singer, but I really like him, and I think that he's gonna go far. So
she said something about him that he had Southern charm, but he was also kind of open.
Yeah.
And I will say, Hannah G had mentioned to me that like that's kind of her vibe. Like and Hannah B said it, I think, on AFR. She said like, I'm from the South and I love that, but I don't want to be that typical Southern woman maybe that you might think of. And so I feel like she wants that classic guy, but she wants like a modern take. And Jed seems to be checking those boxes to me.
I know. Who's your favorite dude?
For her?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're seeing the clear front runners are Jed. Tyler C was a big part of last night. Obviously, she likes Luke, but I feel like with Luke, it's so physical right now.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, that attraction can be so strong. But we got to get to know Luke. I don't know anything about him other than the God convo in the shower. That's all I got on our boy Luke.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he just doesn't seem like he's got a lot of substance right now.
Well, let's talk about Cam.
Yes, I was gonna transition for you because I was like, yeah, I've done enough about Luke.
We were right on the same page. Cam.
Yeah.
I mean, Cam shows up on the group date, crashes it.
Also, just
looking like a dad.
dad vibes, and also serial killer vibes, right? Like,
okay, you're throwing out serial killer a lot on this episode.
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Like,
well, no,
the hair is freaking me out. Also, I like that he showed up with flowers from like a gas station. Not great.
Well, you know, some PA went out and got those.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was Cam's top choice. I don't know if he had a budget. But let me ask this: Cam doing this, Luke saying starting to fall in love with you. Which act is more problematic to you? Which one deserves more backlash?
I think Cam is the villain.
Really?
Yes. And maybe John Paul Jones. I'm getting.
You think he's the villain?
I think later there's going to be something with him.
Really?
Yeah.
He just screams like surfer bro to me. I'm just like, send him to paradise now. Pack him
Yeah,
up and send him
he's like Heath Ledger, 10 Things I Hate About You right now. But I'm not sure about him. I just feel like...
Interesting.
Because he was like, call me John Paul Jones. John Paul Jones. And we were like, all right, dude, calm down. That's your name. We got it. But I think that Cam is the front runner to be the villain of this season.
Okay.
And I think that Luke... I think that, like, by the end, like, if Luke's watching this, I hope that he doesn't really think that, like, I hate him or whatever.
We don't know him. Yeah.
I don't really know you. And I think that, like, he will eventually come out as, like, a really wonderful dude. Where I think that Cam is never going to look good.
Interesting. I have to say, there's been some, talk about like rumors about what happens with Cam because of like some stuff he posted on Instagram about like him having this illness and stuff. So I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. And that's a really good point. Like, look, we're saying everything we're saying about what we've seen on these guys of them on TV so far. I'm saying everything about their television person. We don't know them yet. I haven't interviewed these guys yet or anything. But I am interested to see what will happen with Luke just because of that season trailer footage where we see him screaming. I think it's at Garrett. And it seems to me like maybe it's going to be a case where Hannah is seeing one Luke. The guys are all, like, he's already put himself in this place where they're going to be coming at him. Like, Mike's already coming at him.
Yeah.
So is that going to set him over the edge? Is he going to be a villain? It would be the first time in a while where we've seen someone who was really problematic potentially go really far.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a minute since
But
then.
he's probably problematic to the guys because he's an actual threat
because Hannah's
them.
really into
yes.
him. Yeah.
Like he's not like Cam's problematic because he's going to be annoying to them.
Well, let's look at this mashup. We just made a little mashup of all the guys confronting Cam as Cam talked to the Cam. This was unbelievable storytelling. One by one. I mean, you tell me, there's no way, right, that they knew. Like, did they know the other guys had come up to him during this?
I don't know. I'm sure that they're all like, I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. But also, like, okay, like, I would have never have done this because I'd have been like, well, no, can I go talk to Hannah now? Like, I don't care about talking to this D-bag, you know?
Well, that's the thing, right, and Cam kind of made some points like, dude, he told Tyler and he told the other guys, hey, I'm just trying to go for her here. She doesn't want a passive guy.
Yeah.
So, to me, I'm not into it when people complain about not getting time. I'm like, make your move, be bold. Cam maybe was a little too bold later with that chicken nugget thing. But where do you fall? Like, would you have agreed with the guys or with Cam? Or is that the issue? Like, don't confront Cam, go to Hannah instead? Like, how they were using their time? What do you think?
Yeah, like, I mean, the point of the show is to get to know the woman, not to stand up to the a-hole, right? Like, so I think what they should have done was, and they were all complaining about time because he showed up there and then took away their time.
Right.
But what they should have done had been like, all right, I'm going to go talk to her now instead of go confront him. But, I mean, I love that they all did it. I think it's hilarious. I just think that the chicken nugget thing was so creepy, right? Like...
I'm surprised by how much you are not vibing on Cam right now.
No, I mean, I think he's hilarious.
But you're like a-hole, D-bag, creepy serial killer vibes.
Like the hair, the dad outfit and the hair freaked me out.
Okay.
And then like, also like he pulls her away with another guy that she's talking to, and I was just like, that's just is very awkward.
Well, it was weird to me that he brought Kevin.
Yeah,
because
right.
then it was like this chicken nugget thing. I think we have some B-roll of it, him interrupting with Kevin. Like, this was weird to me because it's like, dude, either take her or don't. Don't try to be like, oh yeah, and you can come too. And
Yeah.
like, I'm the nice guy, but I'm also interrupting. Like, they're all holding hands. They walk away.
So weird.
What was this? I will say I'm not on that level with Cam yet. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's like real caught up in his ABC world right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, it never works out well to pull a gimmick move. Like to be like, I've got this chicken nugget thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Anyeka with the air horn last season. Like to me that never works well.
Yeah, and also have some respect for chicken nuggets. Whoever was the guy throwing them,
Kevin.
unacceptable. All right,
Wasting those nugs.
You can be mad that this is all happening, but those are perfectly good chicken McNuggets. All right, so eat them. Don't throw them on the floor. There's starving kids in Africa, Kevin.
And that to me was what set it over the edge. Like, okay, now you've done this. I mean, I think both Luke and Cam set themselves up to be like borderline hated in the house right now.
Yeah, but they're doing it in different ways. Like one's just being annoying, and the other one's is being way too close with the girl that you're trying to date. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that Luke is going to not be the villain. I wonder, like all the clips you're seeing of people yelling and screaming and ambulances and stuff.
It's the screaming that scares me, and we actually don't have it, and that's my fault. But the screaming is what is like, because it's so intense, and it's so in that dude's face. And I gotta say, I kind of trust our boy Mike, your favorite guy's judgment.
Yeah.
And he, for sure, like you can see him saying it in the clip, he calls Luke like a manipulative psychopath.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Well, like, I don't really know what's going to happen, but it seems like it's one of those guys that is always trying to say the right thing and like show the right face and kind of bottling up the anger and everything. And then eventually, like, it all explodes, you know, and then it just looks real bad. And I wonder if that's what happens.
Okay, we don't know. We don't know how these trailers are edited too. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
it also could be like about throwing chicken McNuggets and being so upset about that.
True psychopath move. Okay, let's talk about the Tylers, because let's show that one-on-one B-roll with Tyler. I don't even remember which last name letter. I don't know their names that well at this point.
No.
You have nicknames for them, right?
Yeah, but I don't even know which guy you're talking about.
Okay, this is the first one-on-one.
Oh, so this is
Jared Haven lookalike for me.
Yeah.
Who's this for you?
Yeah, better looking Jared.
Oh, better looking?
And then the other one's
That's cold.
Sorry, Jared. You're taken. It doesn't really matter. And then
He's locked in.
And there's another guy that looks exactly like him but without the beard. And then
That's Chicken McNugget guy.
Yeah, and that's Tim Tebow lookalike.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
Tim Tebow lookalike. We need nicknames. There's too many. This one-on-one did a whole lot of nothing for me. I couldn't tell you really one thing about him. I couldn't tell you one thing they said. Like, it seemed fine, but I hate to say it, but I'm kind of trained at this point on a one-on-one date. I'm expecting like a super weird moment or like a story of childhood trauma. Like, it was just even. It was just too normal.
Well, it's the first one. And so the first one, I think everyone's a little uneasy.
Hannah was Colton's first one-on-one, and that was when we got that toast that wasn't a toast.
Yeah.
Which was unforgettable.
Yeah, so I think that like the first one-on-one is purely on like looks.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so I think that she was like, this dude's hot. let's go on a date, you know? And I think, and also like in his defense, he's the first guy. He's already got a target on his back. He doesn't really know why, you know? So I think he's just like, I just don't want to say anything wrong. So I think everyone was just kind of like tiptoeing around it. But like no one's ever not gotten, well, actually I don't know this, but I don't think anyone's ever not gotten the rose on the first one-on-one.
On that first one-on-one,
I think everyone's just kind of like, you know, given a pass.
Because everyone's like adjusting psychologically. What is it?
Yeah, I think everyone's nervous. And you're also like only 2 days removed from like the start of the show.
But
so,
you know what? You're starting to fall in love.
Yeah, I want. They should have had Luke on there, and
I mean, can you imagine?
They would have gone to like the Chapel of Love and gotten married, and the show would have ended after
they eloped.
two
the
episodes.
Shortest season ever. I actually wonder if anyone. I bet they don't. I don't want to say they don't allow it, but I don't know if anyone's ever gotten the first impression rose and gotten the first one-on-one. I'm sure
No, I don't think it works that way.
I'm sure it would be advised like, yo, you connected with that person already, like explore someone else because it's the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, and Hannah said she zones in on a guy, so we gotta, Hannah, take a minute.
Well, she's tractor beamed right now for sure.
I mean, it was down that runway, right to Luke's six-pack. I don't know. And let's talk about the other Tyler because I'm calling him Matthew McConaughey, other Tyler. Like his voice doesn't change volume or pitch. He gives me real like, all right vibes.
Yeah.
What's your nickname for this one?
Hold on, I gotta look at him.
We gotta look. Let's bring him again. We gotta get a good look at him.
I don't know. I don't know if we have a nickname for him. He's very good looking though.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know if I know enough about him to like have come up with like a good nickname for him. What are your thoughts on him?
I thought that he had I mean, when him and Hannah were, if we want to show that again, like sitting in that chicken McNugget rose heart that Cam made, when they were sitting and talking to each other, this seemed like a strong conversation to me. She told him she loves the way he looks at her.
Wait, is this the guy that was doing the Kevin Bacon dancing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's Kevin Bacon.
This is Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Also, bold move. I'm sure that like he didn't come up with that idea, but if someone was like, okay, this is what we want you to do, Kevin Bacon, a la, is it Footloose?
Yes.
A la Footloose.
And he
take
went
off your
for it.
shirt, and he did it.
He did it.
So yeah, so I don't know if I think that's weird or I think that's hilarious. I'm not really sure.
Like weird because it's like, wow, he really was okay with doing that right off the bat.
Like right off the bat. Like that, you have to remember that's like way before the show starts.
It's like the first time a camera's on, probably.
So either he's a weirdo or he's my favorite person. I haven't figured it out yet.
I generally go by the rule in life that if you're not afraid to dance, you're probably at least a good time.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, cool. He was, I thought the way he confronted Cam, I appreciated was chill. Because he confronted him and he was like, I don't know, dude, I wasn't cool with that. He did in kind of an almost like mafioso way, go back to the guys and be like, we got to remember this. I was like, okay, Tyler, stop messing
maybe
around.
don't mess with Tyler.
I know.
Don't mess with Kevin Bacon.
I think there's some layers to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
He can be in Footloose, he can be in Flatliners, he can be all sorts of roles. I'm making a lot of retro references right now.
I love it.
So at the end here, and I guess we got to go back to Luke, but Luke crashes Hannah's ITM at the very end.
Yeah. I didn't know you could do this.
Tell me your
There are
thoughts.
so many things that I didn't know you could do that I might have employed. I didn't know you could just go to someone else's date, right? And I didn't know you could go to like where she does her ITMs is not where her interviews or whatever is not where all the guys do them. Like she has her own room. And like that was very like off limits. Like don't mess. Like they're working in there. I didn't know you could just go in there and just make out,
Well, he did.
I know. And then they were whispering, but you know that the microphone's still picking up, right?
It's right here.
You know that this works, right?
It works. It has quite a range, actually. I mean, that kind of, and you tell me, when do you become aware or remember that you're mic'd, or how quickly do you forget it, just like being in this situation?
Yeah, you get really comfortable with the cameras and the sound guys being around you, and you kind of forget it, but...
Like quickly, or when does it happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's that first week. I guess it's still so early for them.
Luke is going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know. He's on episode 8, and everyone else is like, what is happening?
Everyone else is like, I don't even know this guy's name.
I haven't even been in the pool yet.
But he's in the fantasy suite. like, I don't know. I think she left. They're in his hometown. but I'm still cooking in the kitchen and trying to figure out the microwave. It's like a lot.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that's interesting though. So like the logistics of it are she's doing that interview somewhere else. And what are you, obviously the doors closed, they're filming, and if anyone were to, do they kind of tell you guys, okay, you go this way, and I mean, he would have had to go and tell producers, I want to go talk to her?
Yeah,
okay.
I guess so, and I think I remember knowing where that room was, but I remember it being, very off limits, especially was that during a rose ceremony?
I think it was after, yeah.
Yeah, okay, it was after the rose ceremony, so that room's, very much off limits, that night, because you're getting pulled away to do interviews and she's getting pulled away to do interviews. A lot of times, you'll go have a conversation. The chicken nugget thing happened, I guarantee you. And then they were like, Cam, come with me. We got to talk about this. And I'm sure they were like, Hannah, come with me. You got to talk about this chicken nugget thing. And then so, when that happens, you separate. And then, no one would be able to go mess with either interview because trying to make a TV show,
produce it, yeah.
So the fact that he went and did that, that's crazy to me. I mean, I guess you can really do anything, but I remember it being no, you can't go in. She's recording right now,
Well, but also, okay, there's the you can't go in thing, but I mean, look, they're making an amazing TV show here. I love this show. So I would imagine, do you think there's a little bit of selection? Okay, well, Luke wants to go talk to her, so we're gonna let that happen. But if I don't know, Chicken McNugget guy wanted to go talk to her, probably be like, my dude, no.
Yeah, no. I don't know. And now, do the guys know that he went and did that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But the guys know that Cam went and did what he did, that he crashed a date.
Oh.
So now I'm sure all the guys are like, well, I'm gonna do that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and maybe they're going to come at Cam more because, Kevin came and, told everybody what Cam did, but no one's really aware of Luke going and doing his little crash. I think Luke kind of took a page out of Cam's book, honestly.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to ABC it now.
Right?
Yeah. So that's interesting, who will emerge as more villainous in all this. I also want to know, because, it's edited. We don't know. We don't know for sure if Jed didn't tell any of the other guys about, Luke being shirtless. Maybe he did and we just didn't see it.
100%.
Yeah, so
I think you got to.
You got to go deliver that news.
Especially if they're going to all be mad at him, all be mad at Luke, then
ABM. Yeah.
Yeah, it had to happen.
So we've seen this moment with Luke. He reassures her that everything's 100% real. They are totally picked up by microphones, even though they turn away from the camera. And I also did another Twitter poll, and I said, do you guys believe Luke? The majority of fans do not believe Luke right now.
I think
my scientific
So
Twitter
here's
poll.
my thing. I think that he thinks he believes
100%
Luke.
If a guy tells you, I had a conversation with God in the shower, I'm not making fun of anyone's religious beliefs. I just think he has the ability to believe. So I think he believes I'm in love with her. I believe that he believes.
Yeah. It's just... It's freaky to me. That's the only word I can think of. Is so I always try to watch the show in the prisms of my sisters. What would they be saying? Because I really trust their advice and everything. And I think that they would be like, "What? After how many minutes? Whoa, dude! Relax, And I wonder if Hannah's, I don't know if she's got siblings or whatever. If they were like, "Whoa, you need to pump the brakes on this guy because he's coming in really, really strong, really, really quickly."
Well, I 100% think if Luke wasn't so Hannah's physical type, as per our amazing side-by-side with Colton, we have determined he is. And she did tell me she likes a dude who looks a little bit like he hasn't showered, but doesn't smell like he hasn't showered, and I see that. I think if he wasn't so her physical type, sure, she would be like, whoa, 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 but she's so attracted to him. And she said, quote, he's saying everything my heart wants to hear.
Yeah.
Dang. I feel like on this, you only get so much time with people, so does flattery and affirmation of feelings get you far?
Yeah, it is in this one, with her especially, because the timeline is so sped up, there's a part of me that understands where people are coming from, especially if the point is to get engaged, to get all the feeling stuff out early and then really focus on getting to know one another later makes sense. I can rationalize it too, I suppose. I don't know if it's the way that most people date, though. Like,
well, sure.
yeah, like most people like meet each other and then they text for a while.
We're just talking like life, real versus reality.
Yeah,
TV.
yeah,
Sure.
and like saying you'll fall in love with someone on the second date or whatever.
Can I ask you, what's your typical, or I don't even know if you want to go specific. Like for me, I'm like, it's got to be at least several months in.
Yeah.
I'd say that 3 to 6 month range for I love you. And I'm never going to say I'm starting to fall in love with you. I would never.
Yeah. It's a couple months for sure. And also you kind of, this is the tough thing about the show is that like the directive is that the Bachelorette or the Bachelor can't say it back, right? Because then it kind of like blows the cover of the show. Even though like Ben said it twice or whatever. You know, so in normal life, you wait a couple months, and when you say it, you want to make sure like it's coming back at you.
Sure.
Because that's super awkward if like you say I can't fall in love with you, and then they're like, oh.
But here you like know it can't come back to you.
Yeah, I know. So I guess there's some solace.
Is there some
in that.
freedom in that?
Yeah,
sure, I'll
maybe
say
so.
it. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Well, let me ask you, my friend. We're gonna wind down here, but just real quick, like your front runners, who you think she's really vibing with or going for?
Yeah, I think that
Luke.
I think Luke is.
I think Jed. Jed got date Rose. She seems into Jed and is singing.
Yeah, and he's
chill.
He's chill, and also like, you play a song for a girl. I'm sorry, like you can have all the abs in the world. I have done that.
You have done that. Did you do that to Sarah?
No, I don't think so, actually. But I mean, I have done it, like, and it's a total trump card to play. And so, like, you can have all the abs in the world, and you can do a shower scene, and someone comes out there and plays like
Strums. Jed put that hat on.
Yeah. Oh man, the playing fields are equal.
Oh my God. Was there anyone on your season who tried to be like? Do you know if they like anyone tried to go crash a date or tried to switch things up and it didn't get greenlit?
No, I don't know. I don't think anyone did that.
You guys just had Chad.
Yeah, maybe Chad. We had Chad got kicked off the show and then he came back.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You know, a lot of people are like Colton broke all the rules, and yes, Colton did something we'd never seen before with the fence jump. But the going to see the lead thing, like that's not a new thing. I mean, I remember like Courtney Robertson doing that, or you know, like, and I love when they do that.
But it happens at the end of the season.
And again, Luke's going. He's on episode 25 of season 43.
Yeah.
He's on a different season of the show.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? I don't know if you can tell me, but everybody loves seeing you having a little drink poured behind the bar in Paradise.
Yeah.
Could we see you on the beach again?
You could.
You could?
Could.
Well, will we?
There it is. There I am. I don't know. You got to wait and see. It's coming up soon, though, so, you know.
Okay.
Who knows what's going to
You
happen.
got a good base tan now.
I do
from
have
wherever you've been.
Yeah. I was at a music festival, so I'm good and tan. But I think if they want me to do the show again, I would love to. It's such a fun experience.
And you're so fun. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we love it. And everybody can check out your podcasts.
Yeah, Your Favorite Thing podcast. It's me and Brandy Cyrus. It's on where you buy podcasts or get podcasts. And I do another one with Stephanie Pratt called The Prattcast, and that's all about the Hills coming back.
Oh, by the way, you guys have gotten some drama on that one. Like, that's newsworthy. You gotta listen to that.
Didn't know that I was walking into that, but
how you doing?
Here we are. But so that one's good, and we're excited because the Hills are coming back on June 24th.
Yes.
So we're excited for that, and I still do radio shows for iHeart, so that's cool, and
maybe some things in the works.
Maybe some other stuff. Who knows?
And everything's good with you and Sarah. Like watch The Bachelor on Instagram on Monday nights. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched last night, but we definitely had some glasses of wine and enjoyed ourselves, and Postmated Sugarfish, and everything's great with her. She's obviously coming back with season 11 of Modern, so everyone's really excited about that. It's the final season.
Look at him promoting his girls show while he's here. What a guy. Mm-hmm. This is you playing a song right now.
Right? Yeah. Her publicist is like, yes!
Yes! And Modern Family.
Yeah.
Wells Adams, you're always the best. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, Roses and Rosé is every Tuesday morning live here on ET. I'm actually about to go interview Hannah in just a mo, so we'll have that up for you later today. Follow Wells on social. And thanks so much for watching, everybody. Plus, Roses and Rosé, our YouTube recap will be up this afternoon. Bye!
Roses and Rogaine.